George Rambleman here. Hope everybody's doing well. Had to show you my bike here. I spent all morning shining this thing up, and it's got a good bit of chrome on it and took a while to do, but I treated all the leather and shined it up, and just wanted to show it off. I think it's looking pretty good. So now it's all clean and shiny. Let's take it for a ride. No, it's all right.
So we've been riding around looking for Big Canoe. We've got a musician friend playing at the restaurant, Sarahwood Restaurant.
Yeah.
Do you know where that is?
Yeah, okay, go right back here, turn right around, and take a right turn at this stop sign, okay, and go on 53.
Okay.
And if you go on 53, it might be a mile or two. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but there'll be like a convenience store and some signs that say the Big Canoe. If you got a navigation on your phone, I mean,
come this way.
Oh, did it really? Yeah. Well, this way right here. If you keep going down this way, this is Yellow Creek Road. It'll go past that Gibbs Garden and then go on down into Cumming. You know.
It told us to go 9 miles this way, and I said, no, that ain't right.
No, that's not right, because the Big Canoe's that way.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Happy riding.
Yeah, it's nice. I had to get out and ride. You're welcome. All right, I had to give directions to those nice folks to get to Big Canoe. All right, the bike's all nice and shiny. Let's take it out for a ride. I'm on Yellow Creek Road, headed south. Kind of up near Pickens County, near Highway 53 and Yellow Creek Road. And I'm going to head south for about 10 miles. Back to my house in Cumming. But I try to give my bike a good cleaning every spring, and with all the chrome, it takes a good bit of polishing, especially getting in around those wheels and spokes. It always feels good though when you get a nice clean motorcycle, nice, clean and shiny. I haven't been a huge fan of that blacked out look that Harley's got now, but I think it's probably a little bit easier to keep clean than all this chrome. So I've got a little bit more time on my hands here to ride with this coronavirus pandemic going on. I guess it's affecting everybody. Sure has affected my business, that's for sure. As you know, I run a little small consulting, engineering, and construction management firm here in Atlanta, and we got about 5 project managers that travel all over the country to various construction sites and construction projects. And our biggest focus is really in senior living. We do a lot of work on managing construction of new senior living projects, and we do a lot of work on existing senior living campuses to help the clients out there with their facilities and capital budgets. And as you might imagine, the senior living community and the senior living industry has taken a big hit with this coronavirus issue, and they're doing their best to keep the virus out of the senior living communities, from getting into their population, which is obviously very vulnerable, being elderly and probably a lot of underlying health conditions. So most of our clients have put the squash on us traveling to their sites to do our work. So we're going to do a lot of the work by teleconference and telephone and as much as we can. do a lot of other projects other than senior living, and we'll still go to those, although I pretty much left it up to my project managers whether or not they wanted to get on an airplane or not. I left it up to them. If they want to do it, fine. If they don't, you know, we'll figure something out. But you know, as I've been out and about this week, I've just noticed how, you know, how things change and kind of what the psychology of the public is when something like this happens. And I don't think it's panic right now, but I really don't get the whole toilet paper issue and the people just buying up all the toilet paper and people fighting over it in stores. You know, there's so many more things that might be more important than toilet paper. I don't know. But it's kind of crazy. But, you know, my personal schedule, I was supposed to be in Chicago next week for a conference, and that got canceled. And from there, I was going to head on up to Des Moines, Iowa, and do some work at a senior living community in Des Moines. And they called me and said, well, we're on lockdown. We're not letting any vendors or visitors in, so, you know, postpone your trip. And the week after that, I was supposed to be in California all week in the northern San Francisco Bay Area up in Marin County, and again at another existing senior living community. And they canceled that trip. And in fact, California is probably not someplace I really want to be. They had a lot of cases out there in California and Washington, and we do a lot of work in both those states. So we're scrambling around trying to find some work locally to do, and trying to catch up on some older projects maybe and finish them out. And you know, it's good for me to be at home though. I travel a lot, and I was just talking with Mrs. Georgia Remleman this morning, and you know, she's happy to see me hanging around. I'm happy to be at home for a while. But we were kind of joking that, you know, I know this is going to eventually pass, and I don't know how many months it might take, but you know, people are pretty much hunkering down and staying at home and not going out a lot. And my wife predicted that maternity wards will be very busy 9-10 months from now. So I guess that's probably not a bad thing. But you know, even though things are being canceled left and right, I know there's a lot of guys out there that are probably going through some sort of withdrawal now, that basically every sports league and every sports team is shut down. You know, I know some guys who just live and die with sports. They're just big fans. And I don't know what they're going to do. They're probably going to have to seek some psychiatric attention, because they're not going to know what to do. I like sports, but I don't follow it nearly as closely as I used to, and it's not really bothering me too much. Although I did hate to see the Masters get canceled. I mean, that's always kind of a rite of spring around here. You know, the weather really warms up in late March and early April, and seeing the Masters and all the azaleas and dogwoods blooming is, it's like the, you know, official start of spring and summer, and I'm going to miss that. Like I said, it is nice to be off the road for a while and being at home, and it does give me a chance to get out and ride. And if it just would quit raining around here, it'd be a lot better. Rain this morning, but it kind of dried up this afternoon. It's kind of cool. It's about 7 o'clock, and I love the spring because I love the daylight savings time. I wish they'd just leave it on all year. And I've got a long sleeve t-shirt and underneath this leather jacket, and that's about it. It's pretty cool. It's like the upper 50s. It was in the 60s when I got out and started riding, but definitely cooling off, but just great to be out. You know, these people that are having to self-quarantine and stay in, and you know, I don't see anybody could stay inside the house for 14 days in a row. The guy I work with, his daughter's been in Europe, and she just came home today. And she had to go through some medical questioning at the airport, and she was basically told to self-quarantine for 14 days. Now, they're not going to enforce that, and it's really up to her. But I'm one of these people that would go stir crazy if I had to be inside a house for 14 days in a row. You know, early in my career, I was working for an architect engineer firm, and I was in an office 40 hours a week, you know, 365 days a year, and I only worked there for about 2.5 years because I could not take that. And I sought out a job still in the civil engineering field, but out in construction and construction management, where I would be out on project sites. You know, I'm in the office a lot, but I'm out on project sites, and now I travel a lot, and that's much more suited to me than going to work every day and sitting in an office. So I hope you make it through this epidemic or pandemic safely. You know, just be smart. Wash your hands, practice good hygiene. Try to stay away from a lot of crowds, and I think for the most part everyone will be okay. And I hope your business is okay. If you're in the hospitality industry or the airline industry, I feel for you. I know it's going to be a tough time. Just read a news story this morning where Delta is laying off a lot of their contract workers, probably people that do temporary type work for them, but they're laying them off, and they've cut their flights by 40% and grounded 300 airplanes. And the president of Delta came out this morning and said this past week they've actually had more cancellations than they've had bookings, and I've had to cancel 3 separate flights, and I know that's going to be tough. It's been tough on my 401k, I'll tell you that. After I looked at it one time yesterday, I said, you know what, just don't look at it again until the end of the year. Okay, folks, hang tough. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. This is Georgia Ramblin' Man. Everybody have a great week. So long, everybody.